The party was supposed to be fun, a celebration of friends, laughter, and maybe a few memories we'd cherish. I had spent hours getting ready, trying to be present, to be the husband she deserved. But from the moment we arrived, something felt off. She was distant, her smile forced. I tried to engage her in conversation, make a few jokes, hold her hand when no one was watching. But she pulled away each time. I laughed it off at first, thinking maybe she was tired or stressed. Then it happened. A guest tried to grab my attention, showing me something on their phone. I turned to include her, expecting her to glance, smile, and participate, the way we used to. Instead, she pushed me lightly but deliberately, her hand on my chest like a barrier. "Give me a moment," she said, her voice cold. Not playful. Not flustered. Cold. The sting of that push, physical and emotional, hit me harder than any words could have. I froze for a second, trying to process it. Was it me? Was I overreacting? But the look in her eyes told me everything. That barrier wasn't about the moment. It was about us. About her. I spent the rest of the evening in a blur of half-laughs and forced smiles, trying to make sense of it. Friends danced, joked, and mingled, but I couldn't focus. Every time I looked at her, I felt the weight of rejection pressing down on me. The woman I had married, the woman I had trusted, had created a wall between us. And for the first time, I didn't know how to tear it down. I went home that night, the silence between us deafening. I lay in bed, staring at the ceiling, replaying the push, the coldness, the distance. It wasn't a single action. It was a pattern. Weeks of small dismissals, subtle disinterest, tiny betrayals that I had ignored in the hope that things would improve. By morning, I knew what I had to do. I couldn't ignore it anymore. I couldn't pretend the marriage was alive when the person I loved the most had stopped caring, stopped reaching out, stopped fighting for us. I got up before she did, made myself a cup of coffee, and wrote out the words I had avoided for too long. Clear. Firm. Without anger, but without compromise. Divorce. Separation. The end of a chapter that had once held so much promise. When she woke, I handed her the papers. She looked at me, startled. What is this? "I can't do this anymore," I said softly, but with certainty. "You've pushed me away, emotionally and physically. I tried to reach you, to fight for us, but you've stopped caring. This marriage, it's over." Her face went pale. She opened her mouth, as if to protest, but no words came. The truth hung in the air, heavier than any accusation, louder than any argument. For the first time in years, I felt a strange mix of sorrow and relief. Sorrow for the love that had faded, relief for the clarity I finally had. Sometimes, love isn't enough. Sometimes, people grow apart, walls are built, and the only path forward is to walk away. She didn't beg. She didn't cry. She simply sat there, stunned, as the reality settled in. And in that silence, I realized something important. The hardest decisions are often the right ones, and the courage to walk away can be the first step toward finding peace. That morning, I ended our marriage. Not with rage, not with drama, but with calm resolve. Because some betrayals aren't loud, they're quiet, persistent, and impossible to ignore. And sometimes, leaving is the only way to save yourself.